Hey everyone, Barry from BarryFast Cars here. My bony knees just sneaking into the shot. My next team I'm going to talk about is Ferrari. Obviously you can tell from the title. The Ferrari SF Scuderia Ferrari 70 in reference to Ferrari being 70 years old. Their first car came out in 1947. H, hybrid. Pretty straightforward, which is at least in my opinion, exactly how Ferrari's preseason has gone. They haven't spoken at all. Sergio Marchionne, who I won't talk about too much, has, essentially just shut up finally in some respects, and isn't making any bold claims, isn't making any predictions for the season. They just got their heads down and are, ideally making what seems to be a very competent vehicle to race in the Formula One World Championship. So the SF70H, you can probably see a few pictures here. Of course, the teammates, which I'd say is a top pairing. Sebastian Vettel, best Formula One driver, best driver on earth. I'm not making any claims, just putting it out there. It's a possibility. He beat Fernando Alonso at least twice. Both had very competitive machinery. So, Sebastian Vettel, 2017 world champion. Let's not get ahead of ourselves. It would be cool though. That would make me a Sebastian Vettel fan once again. What headlines do we have here on motorsport.com under the Ferrari? Let's see. The launch, preseason testing. They did some Fiorano stuff. Of course they did some Fiorano stuff. Well, let's check out the launch. Fortunately, Motorsport sucks at this and won't let me have a full screen photo. But, it is what it is. So, their first launch, the launch spec of the car was fairly simple, They had these really unique, which is kind of a skirting around the rules. It's technically the intake is behind this assembly, but it's the bargeboard assembly is more or less attached to the car like so, instead of coming down around the side and connecting to the floor. It's just attached to the side of the car, and they have like a separate piece, which is this, that is the bargeboard, and there's a separation there. The side pods have to be a certain angle, right? I think it's like 15 degrees or some stupid shit, which is for aesthetics, whatever. And but these things kind of counteract the losses you're getting because, of course, you want your intakes to be small. You also want them to be 90 degrees facing forward to get the optimum airflow to them, making them off to the side a little bit, having that, I don't know how to angle that, but you know what I mean. Their side like this, the side pods are angled a little bit, but these aerodynamic appendages kind of straighten out the air and kind of force it right back into it. So hypothetically, forcing a little more air in, maybe a little more power. No more whatchamacallits, no more tokens to make development a hassle or a lack thereof such a hassle. The development of the car was, so methodical, so tedious, and because they had to. Yeah, I don't even want to get into it, but no more token system. So Ferrari did what seems to be a clean sheet redesign. The engine is considerably heavier. I think it's like 15, maybe 20 pounds heavier because it has to last longer. They stupidly, in my opinion, 21 races last year because the 21st race kind of came in a little late, so they went from 4 engines per season. And Bernie Ecclestone, King whatever, who's no longer with the Formula One, more or less, he said, okay, 5 engines because there's 21 races. So now there's 20 races, they get 4, which is just retarded. I think 5 races, or 5, it'd be 4 races because there's 20 races this season, but there's 5 engines. But now there's only 4, which just doesn't really make a whole lot of sense to me. So they had to beef it up. It had to be more robust to handle it, because of course the engine is an integral part of the chassis. You know, there's massive loads going into the engine. We're not talking about the G-forces, we're talking about literally forces of suspension work with these gnarly fucking tires, and of course the aerodynamic upgrades that have come through. Beefier engine for sure. And in certain trims, I would be very surprised if the Mercedes and the Ferrari aren't at the 1,000 horsepower mark. That's me just kind of speculating, but maybe it's wishful thinking too. Just I think that's a cool number, of course. But it did really well in preseason testing. They did very, very, very well. I think one of the days Sebastian Vettel racked up like 168 laps by himself in the car, just that's damn near 3 races. A race at Barcelona is 66 laps, so it's 2.5 races. It's unreal. So very, very, very impressive, and it put in some killer lap times. And some of these killer lap times, when Raikkonen dipping into the 118s, he was backing off in the 3rd sector. That's saying something. There was a few videos, few onboards that came out. If you're not subscribed to some of these YouTube channels, I don't know what you're waiting for. At the very least, the Formula One brand has a YouTube channel, and I could say to view that. Liberty Media, the new owners of Formula One, kind of opened up social media options a little bit more to the teams, and it seems like they're not being as stingy for what gets uploaded onto the internet, because I can't watch Sky Sports in the US without the sneaking it off the internet, and Sky Sports is amazing. I love watching Ted's Notebook. So SF70H, it is of course hybrid, it is of course V6, it is of course turbocharged, and there's all the proud people in the team, it's showing everyone. Let's see what other pictures they got for us. I think it's just zipping around. There it is. They were quiet. They had like minimal press conferences throughout the 2 weeks of Barcelona testing, and they just got their heads down and did work. So Maria Binotto, that's this guy right here. Not Maria. I literally just looked it up too. Well, his last name is Binotto. And of course Maurizio Rivabene. We have my boy, Antonio Giovinazzi, which is so awesome. Could you imagine Antonio Giovinazzi in that race seat, maybe replacing Raikkonen? I mean, I want Raikkonen to stay around forever. Huge Raikkonen fan. We got Raikkonen right here, and Sebastian Vettel right here. And they call this the nativity scene unveiling. It was really funny. I saw that. I heard, I think, Ted say that from Ted's Notebook on Sky Sports. That they called it, because they didn't say anything. It's just this garage open, and it's just the car and these dudes, not the main dudes, but they're just standing there. Just standing there. First I thought it was like a photo, and it was just like zooming around the same photo, but no, you could see like them move their hands and stuff. It was pretty hilarious. So, yeah, they dipped into the 118s. They had the fastest times of preseason testing, and we know they were sandbagging. We don't know fuel loads. We do not know. There's some people that have done some beautiful analysis of like when, where, how these times were posted to kind of give us a little bit of a baseline to compare. Perhaps how far into a run, how short the run was, how long. So that gives you a tiny reference on fuel loads. So, but I'm not getting my hopes up, but we just might have the fucking battle we've been waiting for between Ferrari and Mercedes. Mercedes has a fin. Ferrari has a fin. A Finnish driver, that is. not the shark fin, which I think Ferrari did the best job on, because with the contrasting color and the Italian flag, I think they did the best. I think I would like to see without it, of course, but I have to say I think they did the best job on that. But some interesting analysis. the cars do look really good. Obviously have to say that. The noses could look better. Stupid flipping thumb nose. Better than they were in 2014. Do you remember the monstrosities that came out of the 2014 regs? Ugh. I just wish it was more rounded. I wish the noses were more, softer. Like the Mercedes nose is just perfect. The Toro Rosso, we'll get to that. I think I might do the Toro Rosso next because I should have done it after the Mercedes because they're such similar designs. But yeah, I don't really know what else you want to hear. We might have the Ferrari Mercedes battle. Binotto might have actually cracked the code. Ferrari has so much resources that, I mean, it's obviously hard to say, sort of, but it's unacceptable for them to not be vying for the win. And continually vying. We have to remember how close Sebastian Vettel was to that second place behind Lewis Hamilton last year at Australia. I mean, the people who obviously saw it. It was unbelievable. It was such a good race. He ended up overcooking it in the last turn, second to the last turn at Australia, but it was a really, really good battle. And then, of course, he gets punted off at Russia. I forget what happened in China. But then development just fell off. Now, I understand the whole, not James Key, who is the, James Allison. That really was a blow to Ferrari. I don't know if, he ever got integrated that well into the team, kind of found his place, and then his wife died, and he has like 2 or 3 kids. It was just a shit show, and it's a pretty damn good reason to have your development fall off when your technical director leaves the team, like not even mid-season, like a quarter to a third of the way into the season. I think he left pretty much by the European races. So sad. But it's just a little glimmer of hope, a little glimmer. And Ferrari can be back. Sorry, gets me excited. Schumacher fan, Felipe Massa fan. That 2006 battle between Alonso and Schumi was unreal. Not to mention Ferrari, Kimi Räikkönen. What if Kimi Räikkönen wins the championship? Just not out of luck, but like maybe Vettel doesn't have the best of luck and he just is consistent and does win a few races. I really hope to see Räikkönen win another race. He has to win a race this year. He's been back with Ferrari since 2014. This is his 4th season back with Ferrari. And it's time. It's definitely time. So I like the design. I'm not the best at analyzing aero, so I won't. And you can't even see what I'm showing you on the screen, so it's pointless. But I had to make that full screen because I'm on this website and I can't make this part go away and make a full screen. I should probably, honestly, it says I need to subscribe or join Motorsport to get high res. Maybe it's about time I do that. Especially if I'm making all these videos. Alright guys, well I'm going to stop talking about Ferrari. Maybe Red Bull's coming up. Maybe I'll do both Red Bulls next and then maybe race a little bit because I haven't raced in a while. Alright, bye. Well, I pressed the button. What else do you want from me?